Hey friends, what's up? It's Philip with Points with Philip, back at it again. And today, we're talking about, drumroll please, the Discover It Cashback Card. Now, I know, I'm kind of a points guy through and through, but even I have to admit this card, well, it has some interesting stuff going on. But before we dive in, I want to ask you guys to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and also ring that notification bell. You know the drill, it helps me out. It also helps YouTube know that I'm not just yelling into the void. And if you're feeling extra generous, there's a link in the description below to join my channel memberships. Get access to bonus content, early access to videos, and even a chance for me to review your wallet. Alright, well, enough self-promotion, so let's get into it. So the Discover It Cashback Card. Why are we talking about a cashback card on a points channel? Well, because it's popular, it's often recommended, and some of you probably already have it. So let's break it down and, well, see if it's worth keeping around. So first things first, we need to talk about the fact that this is a cashback card. No fancy point transfers here, but, well, it has some interesting perks. Now the big one is the rotating 5% cashback categories. So every quarter, Discover picks a few categories, think gas, groceries, restaurants, sometimes even Amazon. Now, when you spend on those categories, you earn 5% back on those purchases, up to $1,500 in spend per quarter. Now here's the thing, and it's important. You got to activate those categories each quarter. If you don't, you're stuck with the base rate, and well, don't be that person. If you are someone who has trouble with remembering kind of when you need to activate these categories, I want you to actually use Max Rewards Gold. I use it to, and it activates not only my American Express offers, but it also activates my Discover categories as well. So that's kind of really helpful. Now, so what's the base rate of this card? It's 1% on everything else. Now, that's not exactly earth-shattering, but hey, it's something. Now, real quick, I wanted to take a second to talk about something I've been really loving lately, and that's my Extra Wallet. Now, this is the Extra Wallet Pro, and what I really appreciate about it is the quality. Now, the leather feels fantastic, and it's seriously durable. I've been using it for about the last 3 months, and well, it still looks brand new, and it's been in my wallet nearly every day. So if you're looking to upgrade your wallet game, I highly recommend checking out Extra. They have a bunch of different styles and materials to choose from, so well, you're bound to find one that you love. Now, and I've got a special deal for you guys. Use my code in the description below to get 10% off your Extra Wallet purchase. But here's a pro tip too, if you shop at Extra through Rakuten, you can actually earn 5x American Express points per dollar right now. It's definitely worth checking out to maximize your rewards, and I will leave a link in the description below. Now, I want to get back to the video. So this is where it gets interesting. The Discover It Cashback Card often comes with an awesome intro offer, and that's going to be the Cashback Match. Now, Discover will automatically match all the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year. So if you earn $200 in cash back, Discover will give you another $200 on top of that. So you earn the $200, Discover gives you that $200, and then at the end of the year, you get that another $200 back. So that's $400 total. So that could potentially double your cashback returns for the first year. Now, in my mind, that's not bad. As for fees though, this card is really great. There's no annual fee. So let's take a look at the good stuff and maybe the not so good stuff. Okay, so what do I like about this card? Well, the no annual fee is always a win. That annual fee makes it a low risk option, especially if you're just starting out in the credit card game. In fact, Discover is actually best for that because, well, they're kind of forgiving as a lender, and it's also possible that you'll get a lower interest rate with Discover than you might with other lenders. Now, the 5% cashback categories can also be lucrative if you play the game right. If you're organized and you plan your spending, you can definitely rack up some serious rewards. But let's be real, there are some downsides. The rotating categories can be a pain. You have to keep track of them, activate them, and then adjust your spending accordingly. It's not exactly set it and forget it. And, well, that $1,500 quarterly limit can be a bummer. If you spend a lot in the bonus categories, you might hit that limit pretty quickly, and then you're stuck with that 1%. Another thing to consider, especially if you're traveling, Discover isn't as widely accepted as Visa or MasterCard. So if you're traveling internationally, well, it might not be the best choice. So how would this card fit into my wallet? Honestly, it probably wouldn't be a daily driver for me. I'm all about maximizing those points. But I could see it being useful for specific situations, like if the bonus category aligns perfectly with my spending. Now, okay, so you're thinking about Discover It Cashback, and maybe you've also got the Chase Freedom Flex on your radar. And honestly, I can see why. So, first of all, it should be noted that the Chase Freedom Flex is not currently open for applications, although it seems like maybe they're going to be doing a retooling, and that may still kind of be an option. So we'll still talk about it. So at first glance, these cards are like two peas in a pod. They both offer that sweet 5% cash back on rotating quarterly bonus categories, capped at $1,500 per quarter. They've both got a mix of categories, from restaurants to gas to even specific stores like Walgreens. And well, guess what? You got to activate those categories with both cards. And don't forget, you don't want to forget that. And neither card charges an annual fee, so that's awesome as well. But hold up, let's zoom in because there are some key differences. So first, the Chase Freedom Flex has some fixed bonus categories in addition to the rotating ones. So it already has some baked-in rewards at a higher rate. That's a nice perk. Here's another big one. The Chase Freedom Flex, you can earn rewards retroactively if you activate the categories on the 14th of the month of the quarter. So if you forget to activate at the beginning, you can still get those rewards if you catch it in time. The Discover It doesn't offer this. Finally, the Chase Freedom Flex actually charges foreign transaction fees, while the Discover It Cashback does not. So if you're a traveler, that's something to keep in mind, but honestly, let's be honest. If you're a traveler, you're probably not going to be using either of these cards in your travel wallet. Now, for more details, there's a really great NerdWallet article comparing the two. They do a great deep dive. That link is going to be in the description below. So now, knowing all of this, who is the Discover It Cashback card really for? So I'd say it's a great option for beginners. Now, the no annual fee makes it a low-risk way to build credit, especially if you don't travel much. Now, it's also really good for cashback enthusiasts. So if you love hunting for deals and maximizing rewards, and you want a card without foreign transaction fees, this could be a good choice. Now, let's talk about who this card may not be good for. It may not be the best choice for lazy spenders. So if you want a simple, effortless reward system and don't want to risk missing out on rewards if you forget to activate, the Chase Freedom Flex might be a better option, or you might just be better served with just going to a regular catch-all card like the Citi Double Cash or the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Now, this card is definitely not going to be good for points junkies as well. So if you're obsessed with points like me, neither of these cards are going to fully scratch that itch because, well, you can't convert any of these points anywhere else. Now, let's talk a lot about if you're a frequent international traveler. So the Chase Freedom Flex charges foreign transaction fees, but the Discover It Cashback card, well, it's probably not going to be accepted. They do have access to kind of the Diners Club network and things like that, but it's not that good of an option. In fact, I kind of tried to use it a couple times in London and Paris when I was there, and well, it just didn't work out very well. So take with that what you will. Neither of these cards are probably going to be a good way to, travel. All right, so that's the Discover It Cashback card. It's a solid cashback card with a few interesting perks. Now, it's got a no annual fee setup, and it has some great cashback potential, especially when you maximize it. But in the end, I'm still a points guy. And it's also important to note, too, that Discover It Cashback usually comes with some sort of an APR bonus, which means that you could have up to 18 months of no purchases or even no interest on a balance transfer, which could be really helpful. So what do you think? Are you team cashback or team points? Let me know in the comment section below. And well, if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and well, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.